Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So yesterday in my Korra video, I asked you all to submit questions, so I picked 10 of them to answer in this video with one bonus question. Whenever episodes start, I'll also be doing regular Q&As like the day after I typically do review videos. It's just an easy way to follow up on things that everyone had big questions about that didn't necessarily get answered the first time we see an episode. With that in mind, here are a few clarifications from the trailer video. So I'm not going to go crazy with spoilers from all those leaked episodes, but if you do want to talk about spoilers, just use the spoiler tag whenever you're commenting. This is a really young Lin Beifong in Republic City. We don't know how old she is exactly, only that it's her in her early years on the police force. This airbender is one of the new main characters. She's from that metal bending city, but I won't say more than that just because she's kind of important and it's a little bit spoilery. This person is Lin Beifong's half-sister. We still don't know who either of their fathers were, but we could talk more about it in a future bonus video. It's pretty exciting because it means that Toph either had two marriages or she was just in relationships with two people that did not end up in marriages. This isn't Ba Sing Se, it's actually the Misty Palms Oasis. All the other scenes in the trailer in the desert are probably tied to this location. Ba Sing Se is also in the trailer, but it's not this place. You also see it in that scene where Asami's helping Korra escape on Naga. Also, there's some news on the premiere date. A lot of people are theorizing that because the second edition of the Rift comic is coming out July 16th, that Nick will just choose to bump up their release date to right around then. It's not confirmed, so we'll just have to wait and see. And Comic-Con is the week after that comes out, so they might wait till after Comic-Con. So time to answer some questions. I don't consider any of these answers to be super spoilery, but consider yourself warned if you don't want to know anything about Book 3. So here we go. Question number 1. Crystal asks, is Toph still alive, missing, or dead? So yeah, this is actually one of the biggest core questions that's still unanswered. Nothing in the leaks or anything we've heard has said that she is alive or dead definitively. The best info we have is that at one point she pulled a Zuko and just became a nomad, traveling across the world and hasn't been heard from or seen ever since. Because that's what the producers said about Zuko at the beginning of Book 1, I think we'll eventually see Toph because we eventually saw Zuko. Because we see young Lin Beifong in flashbacks, we'll at least see a middle-aged Toph like we saw in Book 1 flashbacks. I'm actually kind of wondering now if Lin Beifong was on the police force whenever that Yukon stuff was happening in all those flashbacks. Question number 2, Alice asks, how many episodes are there going to be this season? So they're going to be 13 episodes just like Book 2. Whenever Nickelodeon ordered more episodes of Korra way back, it brought the total number to 52. That includes everything from Book 1, Book 2, Book 3, and Book 4. So obviously that implies that Book 4 is going to be 13 episodes too, but we'll have to wait for confirmation on that. Nick has been dead quiet about Korra news, so it's unlikely that they're going to order more episodes after Book 4 is over. If anything with Avatar or any future series happens, it's probably going to be another spin-off series in a couple years, or like an Avatar TV movie. Question number 3, Bayard asks, why are there so many airbenders all of a sudden? So there are actually a couple theories and a couple possible answers for this. First, there are the repercussions from last season relating to harmonic convergence, like bringing more balance to both the spirit realm and the physical realm makes it easier for people to tap into their own spiritual energy. So this other answer is a little bit more plausible, and I'm going to call it sky bison logic. Last season, we saw a herd of sky bison being bred in seclusion. It's possible that a group of airbenders could have just been living in seclusion and everyone just didn't know about them until Book 3, until right now. I have heard a few things from those leaked episodes that confirm some of this, but they don't provide a lot of context. So the best answer is that people are in better spiritual alignment right now, and there was a hidden group somewhere in the world. Question number 4, Action Vids asks, who is Lin Beifong's father? So still nothing about this. Nothing in the spoiled, leaked episodes has revealed who Lin Beifong's father is. It seems like most of Lin's story will focus on her relationship with her surviving family members. I'm really curious to see if they reveal who her sister's father was, but not her own father. The only reason I think they'd choose to do that would be if Lin's father became a bigger part of the plot in Book 4. Like he was a really important person, and they didn't want to reveal that information too soon. I'm not going to totally flip out if they don't tell us. It would be disappointing, but I think it'll be a little bit easier to guess who her father was after we learn more about her other family members. Question number 5, Rose asks, will Zuko be helping Team Korra or just the White Lotus? So I'm choosing to think of those plots as the same thing. Like the White Lotus is going to be a different plot from the Earth Kingdom plot, but eventually, both plots do have to come together by the end of the season. So even if Zuko is off doing his own thing in the first couple of episodes, eventually he will be working with Korra. After all the Zuko dragon riding clips, I started to get a lot of Avatar Roku flashbacks to the original series, so I definitely think he'll give Korra some advice, at least at some point. I'm really hoping he teaches her how to bend blue fire. That would be amazing. Question number 6, Count Swagula says, I hope we get to see Bolin evolve from just being comic relief. So based on all the information I've seen, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised with what they did with Bolin's character this season. He's always been a comedian, and he's always going to continue to be a comedian, but I think because we're spending a lot of time in the Earth Kingdom, he'll get a much deeper character arc. It wasn't revealed in any of those leaked episodes, but I'm really hoping that Bolin learns to Metal Bend. Mako learned to Lightning Bend from the Triple Triad, so it only makes sense that Bolin would learn his subbending style at some point. Question number 7, Milan Francis asks, could you explain what the political structure is with the President and the Fire Nation, Earth Kingdom, Air Nomads, and the Water Tribe? So think of it as like Game of Thrones in the Seven Kingdoms. In Westeros, the Andals invaded and formed the Seven Kingdoms. There were 7 different kings. Eventually, Aegon Targaryen conquered Westeros and became the One King, and all the other kings just became lords. So now think about the Fire Nation. The leader of the Fire Nation is called the Fire Lord, but before Avatar Aang formed the Republic and Republic City, the Fire Lord was more like a king. So now the leaders of all those various territories are just more like lords. And in case anyone wasn't sure, Zuko has passed the title of Fire Lord on to his daughter. She's the mother of General Iroh that we saw during Season 1. So even though the political structure has changed a little bit, the leadership is still hereditary. I think they do have a democratic election process in the Water Tribe, and the Air Nomads seem like they don't really have a set political structure. Question number 8. Azure Rocks asks, is there any connection between Combustion Girl and Azula? Because they look very similar. I'm not totally convinced that Azula is going to be in any episodes. It's like the Sokka situation in books 1 and 2. We got Katara, but she never said whether he was alive or dead. She barely referenced him at all, so don't be surprised if Zuko does the same thing. He just doesn't talk about his sister a lot. I do expect them to reference her at some point. You know, even though we never saw Sokka, we did see that statue of him. I am pretty sure we're not going to find any statues for Azula though, unless they're like warning signs. Question number 9, Jack asks, is Korra still cut off from her past lives? Yes, she's definitely cut off, and I've actually heard some rumors that that's going to prevent her from entering the Avatar state. Supposedly, during the leaked episodes, Korra does not enter the Avatar state, even during situations when she would normally be entering the Avatar state. For instance, look at this giant sand shark in the trailer. Don't you think that Korra would be in the Avatar state if this were happening? It seems like one of the big running stories in Book 3 is going to be Korra learning